152 on HD+. And let's remind you, the Sporty TV app is right there for you. Anywhere, anytime on the go, you can catch the latest from World Football Leagues, including the World Cup and the Premier League football fixture. You download on your Android device or your iOS store. Let's remind you as well, we've got social media. It's buzzing with the World Cup. Everyone is talking about it. Our social media handles are live right there for you to, well, interact and share your thoughts with us. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, where we're urging you to like, share, and subscribe. And Fem Faraway, by the way, we're getting started for this big game. I'm in great company, Blessing Faraway and Kelechi Anyikode joins today. Kelechi, it's good to see you in Lagos. The World Cup fever is everywhere. How excited are you?
Very, very excited. So many stories, so many impactful stories, so many people hitting 5 million followers after 90 minutes of play. Brother, I'm really, really excited. It's really nice to see.
All right, Blessing. Well, we've seen so many things go through from the World Cup, but the bizarre stories we've also seen are pretty big. I'm telling you, that's what we live for, when it comes to the World Cup, with the excitement that comes with some of those stories, like he's mentioning the Cape Verde goalkeeper. Who would have thought that Cape Verde, a very, very small nation, would hold a big nation like, Spain, to a goalless draw? I mean, it's one of the excitements of the World Cup, and I hope that Senegal can just follow suit for the African team. I'm going to start from that, Kelechi. Let's get into it. African teams, Cape Verde. No one thought they were going to do this, but they did. Let's review their performance.
I mean, it was a professional low-block performance. They didn't give Spain any breathing space. They defended their box very well. Their keeper came up with the heroics, and it was just nice to see. And like I was telling someone off air, I was like, Europeans were calling for more slots in this World Cup qualifiers, but only 3 European teams have actually won games. That shows you the quality of the World Cup. That shows you the quality of the teams that have come here. That shows you the quality of the Cape Verdes, the Haiti. Haiti only lost 1-0 to Scotland. I mean, I know it's not an African team. I'm just saying the subplot, the stories. The African slot was increased to 10, and you can see that the African teams that have come in haven't done badly at all. Seven-time
African champion.
Yeah, really, they haven't really done badly, and that's the same with Egypt getting a 1-0 draw against Belgium. It was a game that with the kind of strength that Belgium had, you probably thought maybe they would have dominated. But to see Egypt go up first in that game from a goal from Imam Ashur, and then equalizer coming later on from an own goal situation for Belgium, I think it's maybe a performance. I would say it's a performance that Egypt can be proud of, being that they didn't start the tournament with a defeat, because that would have been a different story entirely, like we saw with South Africa. But yeah, it's a good way to start, and I can only hope to see what this would take the African teams, or which level to get them to going forward into the tournament.
I can see the seriousness of the African teams as well. Tunisia fired their coach.
Yes.
Yeah. And Lamouchi, and they brought World Cup veteran in having right now. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, well, the excitement of the World Cup certainly has us talking. Let's cross over all the way to New York, New Jersey Stadium. Earlier, we caught up with our guys like there, Ade Oladipo and Kweku Efari, and we had this to say about this game. Take a listen. Guys, what's the weather like today, and what's the ambience ahead of this big game?
It's different from Brazil-Morocco. And let's be honest, Brazil-Morocco almost felt like a final. In a sense, we saw so many Brazilian shirts, maybe not as many, but France, this is their tournament, right? They are the favourites to win this. And after watching Spain yesterday, I think France, Kweku, have this confidence that if we can put a number on Senegal, who are a very, very good team themselves, we've got a chance here.
Definitely. It's a France team that we know about their attacking prowess. Going forward, they are the most formidable team in this tournament. But there are some question marks about their midfield, about their fullback areas, and we've seen throughout this tournament, in the Brazil-Morocco game, in the game that Belgium drew, in the game that the Netherlands drew, in the game that Spain drew against Cape Verde yesterday, if you're a big nation and you're not on your A game, you will struggle with this tournament. In terms of the conditions, it's warm, which will favour Senegal, but these France players will know that if they play their best football, they should win today.
I was going to throw forward the question of what history has to say about this game. If you remember, in 2002, the opening game for the World Cup, it was France-Senegal. There was a big upset. Do you think that possibility could be on the cards today?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly can. You look at this Senegal team, let's not forget, these are, for us at least, AFCON champions. They have a fantastic spine as well. Edouard Mendy. We wait to see if Koulibaly will make the field. Sadio Mane through the middle can still do what Sadio Mane can do. So they've got enough players. And one thing they do have is, I think, legs in the midfield.
Yes.
There have been questions about this French midfield. Is Chouameni and Rabiot good enough? Because the rest of the squad's fantastic. If you're the Senegalese manager, if you're Thiaw, you're looking at that midfield and thinking, if we win that midfield battle, we've got a chance.
100%. This is a France team that, I don't know, I view them a bit differently to the France team from 2002. That was the period of time where they'd win the World Cup in 98, crash out of the group stage 2002. World Cup final 2006, absolute disaster and meltdown in 2010. This France team's a bit more consistent. Back-to-back World Cup finals. They know their job. The same manager's been there, so they know what they have to do. And I just don't see an upset like that happening. Firstly, because Senegal are in a different place. Senegal are a top team. And secondly, this France team are a bit more consistent.
How about the fans? Are they showing that level of optimism that you just mentioned?
Fans-wise, obviously it's a World Cup, it's a festival of football. They've caught World Cup fever. Every fan base is optimistic about their side. Like they should be, especially based on previous results in this tournament where it's been very, very level. But we all know the reality of the situation. France expects to win this.
Yeah.
Senegal don't have the same expectation.
Yeah, France are coming here to win. France ain't coming here to get to the final or to get into the latter stages. They picked a team. Look, the best example is France's substitute bench could maybe get to the latter stage of this tournament. Of course. They have the best squad by none. They've got the most experienced international manager as well, and Didier Deschamps, who's won it as a player, who's won it as a manager. And they have 4 or 5 guys that could arguably be in the top 10 in the world.
Yes.
So they've got a squad that's come to win, and they're my favourites to win this whole tournament.
All right, guys, we'll catch up with you later on before kickoff.
Good.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
So there you heard the guys. Let's go over to the odds. Blessing, I've got to get you on this one. Does the odds support a possible upset?
I mean, if you look at the last time both teams met, that was back in 2002, which, saw Senegal do the unthinkable. That's, 24 years ago. I mean, you look at that and say maybe...
Your mathematics is simple.
Come on, I'm not...
Mine is out the window.
But yeah, I mean, based on that and just doing that, you're coming up against a France side who has the pedigree as one of the favorites. And there's also Senegal who are coming in as African champion. And also considering how both teams got to this stage of the competition, particularly for Senegal, went the entire qualifying process unbeaten, topping their group. Again, you look at what the odds will say. The odds powered by Sportybet, I would expect, would go in the direction of France, which is what we are seeing. 1.50 odds for France to win this game, and a whooping 7.01 odds for Senegal. Now, there's a bit of gulf in class in terms of how both teams compare to each other. So maybe you can understand why the odds are saying that. But I'm also looking at that France team. There are a lot of players, or that Senegal team, I should say first. Yeah. There are a lot of players in the Senegal team that were born in France.
Does the head-to-head support these numbers?
Now, looking at the head-to-head, with how both teams would say they compare to each other and how, in terms of just the time, they've met just once, right? And it was Senegal that won that. But you cannot bring that into play in this time around. To be honest, it's kind of difficult for me to bring that head-to-head into play to say, because there's been lots of years in between. There's been difference in terms of how both teams have grown, they have developed, just become this whole team. And speaking of that now, how both managers compare to each other. We saw how Papetia played with this side at the African Cup of Nations, which saw them go all the way, all the way to the finals, which they eventually won. But just looking at...
tentatively, Morocco are champions.
Bro, we saw it on the pitch when Morocco... I was in Morocco, I saw that on the pitch, I'm sorry. But that's whatever. But Papetia has 70% win ratio ever since he's taken charge of this team since 2024, which is really, really good compared to Didier Deschamps' 74. Now, these are two managers who actually understand the strength of this team and have really done well for themselves.
Kelechi, let me get your thoughts. One of them is a World Cup winner. The other has played at the World Cup at the highest level of international football. Does that bear when it came to a game like this?
Of course, just like the Cape Verde game yesterday, it didn't bear. Whoever turns up wins the game or gets the result. Obviously, I fancy France. They have enough firepower. They have the quality to come up from the bench. So did Spain yesterday, but we saw how it turned out. But I don't think that Senegal are built to play low block or stay too compact. They want to attacking phases. They want to show that, you know, they got to the final of the AFCON at least. So I don't expect to see what I saw yesterday. I don't expect to see 20% possession, that kind of thing. But again, it's football. Again, coaches adapt due to the nature of the play of the game, the way the game progresses. That's why they adapt. So yeah, there's two different coaches. One at the beginning of his career, one at definitely the end of his career. This is his last tournament. So let's see who comes out tops.
Well, it's certainly will be an exciting game to watch out for live here on Sporty TV. We've got so many of them from the FIFA World Cup. Quite a lot to unpack as the tournament goes from stage to stage. So much to watch out for live on Sporty TV, including games coming through later on tomorrow. We've got Ghana, the African side, up against Panama on Thursday, the 18th, from 12 a.m. It's live from the Toronto Stadium. We'll bring you Czechia. They do battle against South Africa. Both of these sides lost their opening game. It's also on Thursday from 5 p.m. Nigerian time, live from the Atlanta Stadium. These games will be live on Sporty TV, and NTA will be doing all the latest to get you up to speed with the action. Let's turn for a break. We'll be more coming through for this game when we return.
Every 4 years, emotions run wild across the world. In 2022, more than 2 million people went too far with their bets.
We lost the bet.
To the point of even risking their dignity.
If we win today, I promise.
Don't make promises. This year, bet smarter.
This year, play Sporty Bet.
Certainty has a funny track record.
You were very sure about that bet, weren't you?
But what if that certainty actually paid off? If you're that sure that your team will not be conceding to Curacao today, or that your defense will look something like this, then don't just say it, bet on it. If you're that sure, then bet smarter and play Sporty Bet.
This is the greatest spectacle in world football, a title decider, and it feels like nothing can sway a game of this magnitude.
Says who? We've been through this before. You just have to believe a little longer. And everybody knows that 1 minute here lasts forever. Because it's not over until we say it's over.
90 minutes in the Bernabeu feel long.
Porque jugamos cada momento como si fuera el último.
That's why Sportybet always keeps the game alive.
Cash out unavailable? Take control of your bets now. Maximum cash out. Bet safe, bet free.
One goal that lifts the crowd. And for him, the end of the match. That's how One-Up from Sportybet works. Don't wait until the final whistle to celebrate victory. One-Up, get settled early with Sportybet.
We are many nations, but only one heart.
United by pride.
By football.
By heritage.
By passion.
By Africa.
This is our game.
Our bet.
This is Sporty Bet.
In football, nothing is given.
Solo ganas mientras sigues en la pelea.
That's why Sportybet always gives you one more play.
Tired of losing because of one wrong pick? Activate Flexible Bet. More control, more wins.
Because it's not over until we say it's over.
So this is Sporty TV's coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We've got France against Senegal live. Kelechi, Blessing and Femi, we're looking at this game. Kelechi, we've got to turn now and speak about the front three. Everyone is talking about how good these guys are, but really, how good are they?
They are just world-class players. Each of them are definitely going to be in the running for the Ballon d'Or. Michael Olise, even in the friendlies, was just scoring clutch goals, the boy that never celebrates. Actually, I've not seen his highlights, him checking out the field. You know, his normal ritual, you know.
Yeah.
We've now become accustomed to that. Then you know Kylian Mbappe, we know him, we know his heroics in the 2022 World Cup final. He has 56 goals at the moment for France, just one behind the record scorer Giroud at the moment. He could break today. And then you have Doué as well, who's a really, really very good attacker for PSG. He had an awesome season. Then you have boys like Barcola that can come from the bench, Cherky. The attack is well-studied, well stacked to prosecute this game.
Isn't that the problem when you have too many ingredients to put in a pot?
But is it their fault that they have too many ingredients? Like you literally could close your eye and pick anyone, and either of these players would perform. It's just how good they are in terms of manufacturing talent, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
But each of these guys have actually gone on to have good seasons individually in their respective clubs.
Yeah.
Mbappe, there's only so much you can say about Mbappe. Yeah. What about Michael Olise? You know, with Bayern Munich, at some point we had conversations around him possibly being in the running for Ballon d'Or. Yeah. I mean, based on the kind of performance that he's had. But I don't think it will be an headache for Didier Deschamps because he understands these guys. He knows them. He knows the system that works. He knows who will be fitting to play against what kind of opponents. And playing against an African side like Senegal, who you would expect that want to come with a bit of physicality and maybe a bit of defensive discipline, which we see that some of these African sides, bar Tunisia, have had, and South Africa as well. So you need any of these players who can actually produce magic for you at any point in time.
You know, I just realized that the front three, with the exception of Desiree Doué, have scored over 130 goals this season.
Between them, it's insane.
I'm not trying to sound like the doomsday or someone who brings bad news, but do you remember that France before the 2010s, they're either too good or too bad? Right? And they've had players have good seasons.
These ones are excellent. Trust me, these ones are excellent. They just need Chouameni and Rabiot to just sit and let them do the damage.
But you see, why we say they are excellent as well, I'm also wary of a situation whereby they have maybe an off night. Maybe things just refuses to click. I mean, it's possible
if it doesn't click, that's where individual brilliance then comes into play. There's a plan B. The plan B is individual brilliance. The first plan A is collective brilliance. That's fine. Yeah, if it doesn't work, one person will take on the...
Let's continue.
Let's see what managers have selected for this game. We're starting off with Didier Deschamps for France. Let's see his lineup and look through the star-studded players he's selected for a fixture of this nature. The goalkeeper, as we can see, is Mike Maignan. That's starting in goal once again for France. He's picked 4 defenders in their 4-2-3-1 system. Theo Hernandez, Upamecano, Saliba, and Koundé at the defenders. The holding midfielders are Chouameni and Rabiot. He's picked 3 of his attacking options just behind the striker, including Dembele, Olise, and Desiree Doué. And up front is that man right there who features for Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe. Let's switch now to Senegal and look through what Thiao's put forward for his Senegalese side. It's also pretty star-studded in terms of the players, including Edouard Mendy, who starts in goal. He's picked 4 at the back in his 4-3-3 system. Diatta, Koulibaly, Niakate, and Diouf, who are the 4 man in the defensive position. 3 midfield, Camara, Gueye, and Papagaye. The 3 of them will be tasked with preventing this French attack from going forward. And then up front, they've got the Premier League, Ismail Assar, Nicholas Jackson, and Sadio Mane bringing his experience as the captain for this side. So let's get into the selection, what they've done. Kelechi, number 1, who stands out for you in terms of the X factor for France?
Just looking at the lineup, did you mention Iliman Ndiaye? He's not there.
No, he's not there. It doesn't start.
He didn't play Iliman Ndiaye?
No, he did not.
No.
What is he thinking? Yeah.
I mean, let me just focus on my France.
Yeah.
Let me focus on France. I'm happy to see Saliba start. He was a doubt for the tournament.
Yeah, he was.
His passes, even Koundé as well, had a niggling injury the last friendly. I'm happy he's starting. I mean, the French team seems to be a settled side, and you can always guess who's going to come in if they're in danger of losing a game or drawing a game. If they need to turn on the style, you can only see those on the bench that can come in. The likes of Barcola and Cherky. But on the Senegalese end, I think they have their work cut out, especially in the middle of the park. That's where, for me, Idrissa Gana Gueye comes in. He knows those boys. He knows the PSG boys.
Kelechi, this man on our screen, Kylian Mbappe, look, he's done everything. Win the World Cup, score loads of goals. What should we expect from him at this tournament?
Just keep at your side. Skipper, you say he's won it before. Don't forget that. He won it 20.
And perhaps the most important player in that team.
He won it as a teenager. But
now it doesn't matter. But he was a focal. He was one of the.
Yeah, it was a focal point.
Yeah, it was one of the. You know, like it was a bystander.
But the pressure back then is not the same pressure now. Then he had Olivier Giroud, Pogba,
Griezmann.
Right. The last time he scored 8 goals in the tournament, his side failed to win the tournament. There was more responsibility.
But they got very close to winning that tournament.
Yes.
Well, almost doesn't kill a bird, really.
I understand that, but he's been there, done that. He's won it before. There'll be less pressure. We have Kante there, so a few of them in the team have been there, done that. So I think he will skip at his side very well. He's the main man. We cannot see that. We've seen the memes online. He's the main guy.
Okay. But Femi, what I think I'm seeing about this Mbappe here is I don't think he probably will stay as a number 9 all through the game because he's in a number 9, probably will be drifting in and out, which I think might confuse maybe Koulibaly and Niakate's partnership in the defensive half for Senegal, because you're not exactly sure how you want to pick him. He's going to go to the wings. I want to drift, into the middle of the box and try to create havoc in the process. So I think Senegal has to be very, very wary of that.
I want to talk about the Senegal team. They're a very dangerous side, and I think that we do not give them enough credit for what you said. You saw them lift the African Cup of Nations trophy, by the way. How will Senegal play in this tournament, and what will be ideal for them? Now,
I'd expect the discipline that I saw from the AFCON to continue. They were a very, very disciplined side defensively in that game, and that's what I'm going to see. But what is jumping at me in this 4-3-3 formation that Pape Thiaw has lined up here is one particular player, Pape Gueye. Pape Gueye was the La Liga. He won the La Liga MVP award a couple of weeks ago at the end of the season. I remember.
Sporty La Liga
MVP award. And then he scored the winning goal. He scored the goal in the final of the AFCON. Now, he has grown to be that very, very important piece, in this Senegalese side. So I'd expect to see what he brings into that midfield, for Senegal here. And also the fact that you have the experienced, heads like Mane, the front three lineup there, and also at the back, Koulibaly and Niakate. The partnership is very, very key to trying to stop what the attacking firepower of France is going to be in this space. So Senegal perhaps, high press.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to counter.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy,
a lot
actually.
of running.
And maybe a bit of aggression as well. Because you want to be a bit physical. You don't want to allow this France side to weave through you with ease. So I'd expect a bit of physicality in part of the game.
Kelechi, Sadio Mane has done everything for African football. And he says this is his last tournament. This is a perfect final send-forth for him. What should we expect in terms of how the team will support him to claim his goal?
I mean, he's a legend of the game. He's a legend of African football. I think he's just going to do him. He's just going to play him. He's a Saudi League champion. He just won the Saudi League. Yeah, he's won multiple leagues in Europe. He's won AFCON. So, I mean, he'll just play like Sadio Mane plays. But another person I want to highlight is Nicholas Jackson. We are sleeping on that guy. Since that guy left Chelsea, they were not the same. Cole Palmer seems to be Cole Palmer. I'm not joking. He might not be the most prolific striker, but he does a lot of work. He creates that space. He drags defenders out. That's why Cole Palmer was...
But does he score goals?
That's what I'm saying. He might not be the most prolific, but I thought it's a team effort. You understand? Once he can bring others into play. Giroud went to the World Cup that they won, and he scored 0 goals.
Had no shot.
No shot again, but they won it. He started all the games.
Do you know why? I don't know why do I feel like if Nicholas Jackson had gone to any place other than Bayern Munich last season, he wouldn't have gotten the amount of goals that he got, because he has that finishing problem.
Sometimes it's not about.
I feel a bit worried because Kelechi has mentioned Mane, league champions. Said a few other league champions, but didn't mention Jackson won the championship.
Exactly. He wasn't the mainstay, but he collected the medal. You understand? But all I'm saying is, looking back at what happened in Chelsea 2 seasons ago with Cole Palmer, that's why he's not
because he obviously knows the defenders he's up against.
Yeah.
He's played against Saliba a lot of times.
Yes.
I was teammates with Upamecano.
Teammates with Olise as well.
Yeah. So don't diminish that experience. He has the know-how. He might not be the most prolific. And again, it's tournament football. Who knows? He can just not chop one or two goals and then confidence.
What I see is that he has to take every single chance that comes his way today. This is not the kind of game or kind of tournament where you miss chances. We saw him at the Club World Cup with Chelsea, where he missed loads of chances. So you are creating 1 or 2 chances. You've got to be on it, wanting to convert or even convert, or at the very least, hitting the target or shot on target or something.
I know a lot of people mentioned Michael Olise. He's mentioned the whole of the season, but we've got to talk about him before this game. He's starting this one. This is his first FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
And, well, he could have played for any other country. He's playing for France.
Actually, I was going to say that if I was a player I wished never represented France, it's Olise. I wish he was, maybe representing Nigeria. Amazing quality. And we saw how that French side changed. I mean, starting from when he made his debut at the Olympics, if I remember, it was a revelation. And from there, you could just tell the quality that he possessed, just how sleek he is with his movement, quick feet as well, can literally weave his way. I think it's unfair that France has Olise and Ryan Cherki in this team. It is very unfair just how both players are just very, very, very good with the ball to the feet, can actually drag defenders, drag attention to themselves, which opens spaces for other teammates where he can easily put the ball into, and he gets the opponents, in trouble.
For all the good words Olise gets, and his numbers don't lie, you can see, in terms of team contribution, goals, assists, and generally, we've seen people stop him. At least, we've seen someone stop him this season. Nuno Mendes did. Diouf is up.
Did he stop him in the first leg, though?
Well, the second game, he remembered his role, really. I'm just saying that there's a way to stop Olise. Can Diouf, who's played for West Ham United this season, can he do that job in stopping Olise from progressing?
Well, of course, it's about confidence.
What will he need to do?
Just stick to your man. Follow him everywhere. Make him uncomfortable. I'm not saying be harsh or go get a yellow or red card. Just make him uncomfortable. Make him feel your presence. Make him know that you are there. Diouf has got pace as well to burn. So match him pace for pace. Make him a bit uncomfortable. He might need to switch flanks and do stuff like that just to disorganize him. But just once you stay focused on your game, why not? You can get one over him.
But I think he has to be careful to not pick up, card on Olise, because Olise is that kind of player who can get you to bait you to fouls. You commit the fouls, you get a card. And at any time he collects the card, means he has to be very careful, lumping into challenges or practically thinking twice. Do I go ahead and challenge him? But a bit of aggressiveness can actually help. But I don't think it would be the total answer to stopping Olise, but in a way, it can.
All right. We've got a break. When we come back, there'll be more coming in from this game.
One goal that lifts the crowd. One celebration that unites them like brothers. And for him, the end of the match. That's how one-up from SportyBet works. Don't wait until the final whistle to celebrate victory. Get settled early with SportyBet. One-up. Winning is now that easy.
In football, nothing is given.
Solo ganas mientras sigas en la pelea.
That's why SportyBet always gives you one more play.
Tired of losing because of one wrong pick? Activate Flexible Bet. More control, more wins.
Because it's not over until we say it's over.
Every 4 years, emotions run wild across the world. In 2022, more than 2 million people went too far with their bets.
We lost the bet.
To the point of even risking their dignity.
If we win today, I promise.
Don't make promises.
This year, bet smarter.
This year, play SportyBet.
Certainty has a funny track record.
You were very sure about that bet, weren't you?
But what if that certainty actually paid off? If you're that sure that your team will not be conceding to Curacao today, or that your defense will look something like this, then don't just say it, bet on it. If you're that sure, then bet smarter and play SportyBet.
Before the noise, before the game begins, victories are built on small rituals. In the quiet belief that they make perfect sense. The stats check out. The odds line up. Every choice feels right. So when it matters most, you're ready to win. M-Sport. Play where you belong.
90 minutes in the Bernabeu feel long.
Porque jugamos cada momento como si fuera el último.
That's why SportyBet always keeps the game alive.
Cash out unavailable? Take control of your bets now. Maximum cash out. Bet safe, bet free.
You need to take care of this one.
Explain yourself.
I saw the World Cup offers, and I got curious.
Real sports?
And a bit of casino too.
Do you know about the rings? Press the button. Can you feel it?
Free bets raining every single day.
Do you know who you are?
I am football.com.
Louder. Next.
This is our coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup live on Sporty TV. Kelechi, Blessing, we're looking at this game as the Senegalese take on the French side. And earlier we're speaking about how good this French team is, and even the odds, Kelechi, supports that Senegal will not or should not win this game, right?
They have a mountain.
It's all in favor. It's all in favor of France, but every team has a weak side.
Of course.
So what's the weak side of France, and how can Senegal penetrate that weak side?
They just need to stay compact, use their wide channels very well to unbalance the back four of France. And you know that Ismail Assar, Sadio Mane, they are tricky, fast players as well with predatory instincts. We see what Sarr has done in Crystal Palace, won the Conference League as well for them, was their player of the season. They can cause havoc, you know, on their day. So stay compact, choose your pressing times wisely. Don't just go gung-ho and leave space behind for those, the Doués and the Mbappés to attack. And then, yeah, just use your wide channels and hopefully you can get 1 or 2 goals.
Do you agree with that, knowing that Cape Verde benefited from that, the likes of Egypt benefited from it? If they want to make a statement, should they deploy something different?
Yeah, I do feel that you have to be defensively compact. You don't want to leave too much spaces behind. And you also do not want to afford the likes of Mbappe space to operate in. You have Mbappe, you have Dembele, you have Olise. These guys, all they need is half space and they put you to the sword. So you want to be very careful to avoid that. However, that midfield for Chelsea, for France might be an issue with Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni, I don't know, I've not been exactly impressed by him. I mean, towards the end of the season, right? I wasn't exactly really impressed. He could lose his head at any point in time. So I think Senegal can try to get him to commit. I mean, once he's committed a foul or two, he has a card. He probably will be very careful in trying to, to block the midfield. So which is something that he can't do. But I do not expect Senegal to sit back and deploy a low block like these other African teams have done. You're African champions. We want to see you play. We want to see you come out and be expressive.
What role will Idrissa Gueye get in this game? He's not a young footballer, but he's come with a lot of experience, right? And that's a wealth of experience playing in France. How does it affect this one?
Well, I'll just see what he does in the midfield. Maybe trying to be a screen for the back four.
Okay. All right, let's return to the New York, New Jersey Stadium where we've got Kweku and Ade there. Guys, the Fantastic Four are starting today. Talking about the French four, including Mbappe, there's Dembele, Doué, and not forgetting Michael Olise. That's a packed side the French are putting out today.
Yeah, that's an incredible front four. That's the best front four at the tournament. When you think of Portugal's midfield, they win that battle, France win the front four battle. But it's funny, we're seeing Ryan Cherki behind us, and the fact that he doesn't even start for this 11 is incredible.
It's crazy. He's a player with so much ability, but this France team is littered with players with so much ability. Cherki's just walking past us there. A rare miscontrol from the Dynamo. He's an incredible footballer that France have got a lot of, right? They're an amazing side, but we know that amazing sides don't just come to this tournament and win games. You have to be at your very best. And France won't be at their very best, but the job is giving them a chance to do that with the team selected today.
Okay, so I'm going to go over now and speak a little more. What's the expectation for this French team at this tournament?
What, for the French or the Senegalese team?
For the French team.
Oh, the French team are here to win. There's no two ways about it. They picked a 26-man squad that should win. I mean, there's at least 5 of these players that I think could be in contention to be in the top 10 best players in the world. They have the most experienced manager in Didier Deschamps, who's won it as a player, who's won it as a manager. And they have the best talisman in Kylian Mbappe, who's had a strange season for Real Madrid. But once he puts on that blue jersey, he turns into something special, as we saw in the previous 2 World Cups. So they've come to win quickly.
I agree. It's the World Cup of bust for France. It has been at the last 3 tournaments. They're a side that are the best side in the world, got the most talented players in the world, and got the mentality to beat as well. And so I'm really excited to see how they line up. Deschamps, in his nature, is a pragmatic man. But you can't be pragmatic when you've got that much ability and talent on the pitch and on the bench. And so I expect them to score a lot of goals and be one more exciting team at this tournament.
All right, so I'm going to have to ask you guys about the Senegalese team. There's a lot of experience, including Premier League experience in this starting 11. I'm going to let you guys ponder about it, but talk to me. How good is this Senegalese side ahead of this game?
Fantastic. It's very good. My only fear for Senegal could be overconfidence, and they should have confidence. They're the African champions. But if they try and go toe-to-toe with France, that could be the undoing. But they've got a fantastic goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. The captain, Koulibaly's now back. There was a scare that he might be injured. Then you look at the midfield. Diarra in that midfield's got legs. He will move around the pitch. And then Idrissa Gueye. Idrissa Gueye is a good, experienced player now. And then Sadio Mane. They have got a spine and extras. They're not coming here to get a point. They're coming to win, as they should as the African champions.
Of course, you didn't mention Nicholas Jackson, a player that has played at the highest level, obviously at Chelsea before this season, and he was at Bayern Munich on loan this season, winning trophies and gaining experience. And so you cannot underestimate Senegal. It's not Senegal from 2002 where it was a huge upset, a big shock. This is a Senegal side that can't be underestimated. We've seen in recent seasons that when they're at their very best, they're very, very difficult to beat.
Let's talk about Sadio Mane now. Leading this Senegalese team as the captain, the leader, this will be his last international tournament. What should we expect in terms of the performance and how his team will lead him all the way to the end?
You're expecting a Sadio Mane that will work from the first minute to the 95th minute. And I actually think him going to the Saudi League, where maybe the level's a bit lower, has saved his legs a little bit. I think if he stayed in the Premier League or the Bundesliga, I don't know if he would be here today. But the fact he's gone to the Saudi League, where it's less stressful, I think it's helped him a little bit. And one thing Sadio Mane has now is help.
Yes.
It's not just a Sadio Mane show anymore. There's a few players that can help him. But I love the idea of Sadio Mane going against Koundé. I think Sadio Mane versus Koundé will be a fantastic battle. And I'm telling you now, Sadio Mane is going to have joy down that side. If you look at this France team, maybe the weak area is the fullbacks. Hernandez and Koundé. If you're Senegal, you've got to target that. And there's no better target man on that left wing than Sadio Mane.
100%, and I agree with you completely. Sadio Mane is the talisman. He's the man that kind of makes everything tick for Senegal. And I interviewed his teammate, his former Liverpool teammate, Fabinho, after the Brazil-Morocco game. And he said that playing in Saudi Arabia in that humid temperature has helped him to acclimatise this tournament. So Mane will be ready. He'll be ready. There's no excuses. And he's a big game player as well. His goal-scoring record doesn't reflect that of a pure out-and-out striker. But in big moments, he turns up for his country and his club. I expect to see that today.
Blessing for Wowe is here, and she's got a question before kickoff for you guys.
Guys, I'm just wondering, are you surprised Iliman Ndiaye is on the bench for this one? I mean, you would have thought he gets straight into the starting lineup for this game.
Not really. I mean, both sides have such deep squads that being on the bench, normally when you're on the bench, it's almost a slight on you. But it's not a slight on him being on the bench, because you look at the starting 11, and that's why he's on the bench. Yeah. It's almost an easy question. You knock on the manager's door, the manager says, look at the starting 11.
Exactly.
Where do you find your starting spot? And also, with the heat and the humidity, I think there'll be a lot of substitutions early second half. So you're going to get your chance in this game. Just got to be ready to take your chance, but, I mean, both benches are stacked.
They are.
So there's no shame in not making a starting 11.
And modern managers talk about starters and finishers, and that's what they're going to have to employ this tournament. We know how hot it is, despite the hydration breaks. These players are going to be very, very tired come the 70th minute. Players will get their opportunities, and a lot of times in international tournaments, the heroes come off the bench. So everyone's got a role to play. It's a long tournament. Being on the bench for the first game is no slight.
Ade Kweku, I'm going to shamelessly have to ask your predictions this time, because you guys have explained this game very well. The only thing that is left is what you think the outcome will be at the end.
I'm going to go France 3, Senegal 1. And I think it could be tight. I think it could be 2-1. Senegal are going to try and get an equaliser. France get them on the counter-attack and finish off the game. I expect Senegal to score. I expect Nicholas Jackson to be a bit of a problem. His movement might cause problems to Saliba and Upamecano. But this France team have just too many weapons. Off the bench, I mean, it could be Mateta, it could be Thuram, it could be Barcola, it could be Cherki, who's doing kick-ups behind us. I think France just have too many weapons, so I'm going France to nip this by a couple of goals.
I'll keep it simple. France 2, Senegal 1.
Okay, but as simple as it comes. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the game. We'll come back to you at full time.
Thank you.
All right, that was pretty
good. I did say Nicholas Jackson fan. That's what I was explaining. He might not be prolific, but he's running the channels.
Only if he's able to wear out the defenders.
Yeah,
if he does that, I think I can take that over if he's not being prolific.
France have considered in their last 5 matches as well.
Oh, well.
They
remember,
lost
they lost set pieces.
In their build-up, they lost
Senegal have the height for set pieces.
They lost to Cote d'Ivoire, one of the
Of course. So there's what to play for here. Don't ask me for my course prediction.
You're going to have that. You're going to have that opportunity. There's no how local man will come outside and not get the opportunity. Let's go for another break now. We'll come back and prepare for prediction live here on the show.
Every 4 years, emotions run wild across the world. In 2022, more than 2 million people went too far with their bets.
We lost the bet.
To the point of even risking their dignity.
If we win today, I promise.
No. Don't make promises.
This year, bet smarter.
This year, play Sporty Bet.
Certainty has a funny track record.
You were very sure about that bet, weren't you?
But what if that certainty actually paid off? If you're that sure that your team will not be conceding to Curaçao today, or that your defense will look something like this, then don't just say it, bet on it. If you're that sure, then bet smarter and play Sporty Bet.
We are many nations, but only one heart.
United by pride.
By football.
By heritage.
By brotherhood.
By passion.
By Africa.
This is our game.
Our bet.
This is Sporty Bet.
One goal that lifts the crowd. And for him, the end of the match. That's how 1UP from Sporty Bet works. Don't wait until the final whistle to celebrate victory. 1UP, get settled early with Sporty Bet.
What is football? I beat the unbeatable Barcelona with Real Madrid, breaking all records on the way. I am relentless. I am ambition. I am a winner. I am José Mourinho. I am...
In football, nothing is given.
Solo ganas mientras sigas en la pelea.
That's why Sportybet always gives you one more play.
Tired of losing because of one wrong pick? Activate Flexible Bet. More control, more wins.
Because it's not over until we say it's over.
I'm gonna crush you today.
Crushing a 4-time world champion, not today.
Get ready. It's time to race. Play sporty speed and don't let it crash.
If football were a nation,
elle serait la plus grande du monde. Si el fútbol fuera un idioma,
تتردد صداها في كل ركن من أركان الأرض.
não importa onde estejas.
No matter who you are, si te apasiona el fútbol, perteneces
to the biggest team on the planet.
El fútbol une al mundo.
Football unites the world.
Stop. The title favourites, talking about France and the African side with a lot of credentials, Senegal. We're certainly looking forward to seeing what will come. Another thing we're also looking forward to is seeing some of the stars the French team have got on their bench, and one of our sporty match day player to watch. Let's talk about this guy. Played so well for Monaco this season. Sort of went under the radar, but found his way into the lineup.
I mean, he found his way into this team. I mean, he may not even get the much minutes at this tournament but this is a place where he gets the exposure, gets to mingle with the big guys and see how it is done and how he can eventually grow into that speed. But what you can actually expect from him is somebody who is very, very exciting in terms of how he plays, very comfortable within the lines, excellent in tight spaces. That's one of the things that he brings, into this, or he would bring if he gets the chance, into this French national side. And it kind of reminds me about Boadi of Morocco, who, I mean, not many expected that he would do something